Feeling mentally sluggish lately? Wish you could learn things faster and actually remember them? Well, guess what? Your brain is a muscle, and just like any other muscle, it needs the right kind of training to get stronger. Here at the Listicle Lab, we've dug deep into the latest neuroscience to bring you 5 simple, incredibly powerful brain hacks that will make you demonstrably smarter and sharpen your memory like a razor. And stick around, because hack number 3 takes only 5 minutes a day, but can change everything. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with information, the ability to learn quickly and retain that knowledge isn't just a nice skill. It is your ultimate superpower. Now, the hacks we're about to share aren't complex, jargon-filled theories. They're practical, science-backed strategies that leverage the way your brain is naturally wired. By understanding and using these methods, you can optimize your cognitive performance and finally unlock your brain's full, incredible potential. Let's get started. All right, brain hack number 1 is called the Feynman technique, named after the brilliant physicist Richard Feynman. The core idea is simple but profound. To truly understand something, you have to be able to explain it in simple terms, as if you were teaching it to a 10-year-old. When you force yourself to break down a complex topic into its most basic components, using simple language and analogies, you immediately expose the gaps in your own understanding. If you find yourself stumbling or relying on complicated jargon, that's a red flag. It means you haven't fully grasped the concept yourself. So you go back to your source material, you fill in those gaps, and you try again. Repeat this process until your explanation is crystal clear and simple. This isn't just about memorizing facts. It's about building a deep, intuitive understanding. It's the ultimate learning accelerator because it forces active recall and conceptual clarity. The next time you're trying to master a new skill or subject, grab a whiteboard, a notebook, or even just talk to yourself out loud. Pretend you have an audience of curious kids and teach them. You'll be amazed at how quickly you'll become an expert. Next up, brain hack number 2, interleaving. This one goes against how most of us were taught to study. We were told to use blocked practice, spending a long, focused session on just one subject or one type of problem. You do math for 2 hours, and you do history for 2 hours. Interleaving flips that on its head. Instead of studying one subject for a long block, you should mix different but related subjects or types of problems within a single study session. For example, if you're studying for a math test, instead of doing 20 problems of the same type in a row, mix them up. Do a few algebra problems, then switch to geometry, then to trigonometry, and then back to algebra. Or, if you're learning languages, you might spend 15 minutes on Spanish vocabulary, then 15 on French grammar, then 15 on Spanish conversation practice. It feels harder at first, and that's the point. This method forces your brain to work harder to retrieve information. Each time you switch subjects, your brain has to re-engage and pull the correct information from long-term memory. This constant retrieval process strengthens the neural pathways associated with that knowledge, making it much more durable and easier to access later. It might feel less productive in the moment, but studies consistently show that interleaving leads to significantly better long-term retention and a more flexible understanding of the material. And now for that 5-minute-a-day game changer, brain hack number 3, the power nap. Yes, you heard that right. Napping isn't for the lazy. It's for the smart. A short, strategic nap, specifically between 10 and 20 minutes long, can dramatically boost your alertness, enhance your memory consolidation, and improve overall cognitive performance. The key is the duration. If you nap for longer than 20 or 30 minutes, you risk entering deep sleep, which can lead to that groggy, disoriented feeling known as sleep inertia. But a short power nap keeps you in the lighter stages of sleep, which is perfect for a quick mental reset. In fact, famous research from NASA on military pilots and astronauts found that a 26-minute nap improved performance by 34%, and alertness by 54%. It's like hitting the refresh button for your brain. When you feel that afternoon slump coming on, instead of reaching for another coffee, find a quiet, dark spot, set an alarm for 20 minutes, and just let your mind rest. You will wake up feeling refreshed, more focused, and ready to tackle the rest of your day with renewed mental energy. Let's move on to brain hack number 4, exercise before learning. We all know exercise is good for our bodies, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do for your brain. Specifically, engaging in moderate aerobic exercise for about 20 to 30 minutes, right before a study session or an important mental task, can work wonders. A brisk walk, a light jog, or even just some jumping jacks is enough to get your heart rate up and increase blood flow to the brain. This surge in blood flow delivers more oxygen and nutrients to your brain cells, which enhances focus and concentration. But that's not all. Exercise also triggers the release of key neurochemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine, which are crucial for attention and motivation. Furthermore, it stimulates the production of a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which acts like fertilizer for your brain cells, promoting the growth of new neurons and synapses, especially in the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. This means that a pre-learning workout doesn't just help you focus in the moment. It primes your brain to encode and store information more effectively. It also helps reduce stress and anxiety, clearing your mind for optimal learning. Finally, we have brain hack number 5, the memory palace. This is an ancient and incredibly powerful mnemonic technique used by memory champions around the world. It's also known as the method of loci. It works by transforming abstract, hard-to-remember information, like a list of names or historical dates, into vivid spatial memories that are much easier to recall. Here's how you do it. First, choose a place you know extremely well, like your own house or the route you walk to work. This is your memory palace. Then you take the items you want to remember, and you mentally place them in specific, distinct locations along a logical path through your palace. For example, if you need to remember a shopping list, say eggs, bread, and milk, you might visualize cracking eggs all over your front doormat, then a giant loaf of bread blocking your hallway, and finally, a river of milk flowing down your kitchen sink. The key is to make the images as bizarre, vivid, and multisensory as possible. The more ridiculous, the better. Then, when you need to recall the list, you simply take a mental walk through your palace. As you pass each location, the associated image will pop into your head, and you'll effortlessly recall the item. It sounds a bit strange, but it leverages your brain's exceptional ability for spatial memory, turning boring data into an unforgettable mental journey. So there you have it. Stop settling for average memory and focus. These 5 brain hacks, the Feynman technique, interleaving, power naps, exercising before learning, and the memory palace are your secret weapons for accelerated learning and achieving peak mental performance. Start incorporating them into your daily routine and watch the difference it makes. If you found these tips valuable, show some love and like this video. And be sure to subscribe to the Listicle Lab for more data-backed mind upgrades. We'd love to hear from you, so drop a comment below and tell us which hack you're going to try first. Thanks for watching.